Hey sis, what's going on?
Hey, I'm doing good. I hope you're doing well. I'm so excited for us to be here together and share our journey together with our viewers. I just want to say thank you, viewers, to logging in here and checking us out, taking a look at ZWSB.24. We're just so thankful to be here and share our journey with you all. So we just want to thank you so much for your support. We thank you for looking at our last episode that we had 2 weeks ago. And we're going to just continue this whole friendship. We've been together, been great friends for 25 years. So we just want to share our experiences with you and stick on the topic of friendships. So let's go ahead and get started, you guys. So first up, we just want to define what a friendship is. So I'm going to pass it over here to Stephanie. She is the SB to the ZWSB.24. And of course, I am Z. I'm the ZW to the ZWSB.24. But we're going to go ahead and get started with our friendships. And the first question is, how do you define a friendship?
So, friendship, it's definitely, I know it's defined by Webster and Oxford's dictionary, is two people that have a strong liking for each other.
Mhm.
Um, I actually looked up the word friendship in Webster's dictionary and it said one that is your friend. So, I just took it into my own hands to explain what being a friend is. And based on my experience and based on our relationship together, this is how I would define friendship. Friendship is definitely a bond between two people based on their experiences, based on their journey together as friends. It's not bound by time, it's not bound by circumstance. It's definitely a connection that you can't force. So it's natural. It's nothing that you have to pretend to be at
Mhm.
all. I know that if you try to do that, then it's not organic and a friendship doesn't have a chance at longevity. So I know when you talk about experiences and connection, just kind of hopping back to where Stephanie and I first met, which we talked about that in our first episode. We actually met at church. Our families
Mhm.
went to the same local church, and we actually met in a group called Missionettes, kind of like Girl Scouts. And so that was our first interaction with each other and our first connection. And we definitely started to talk. We definitely
Mhm.
connected because actually our names are the same.
They are.
We do share the same name. Um, so, of course, when you're younger, you're like, oh my gosh, that's my name. So that's, an automatic connection there.
Yeah.
So we were definitely bound by that. And then gradually, as we spent time and we developed that relationship, we learned about the similarities that we shared together. We learned about,
Mhm.
I learned about her family and began to love her family, and she learned about mine. Um, what's so beautiful about it is that while we have similarities, we're definitely not the same at all. But we accept and we love those parts of each other.
Yes.
So that's definitely, something that I think is very beautiful. God didn't create us to be the same. He created us differently because he's an intricate creator. So that's something I definitely always admired about friendships, how I guess boring for lack of better words would it be if we were just the same.
Mhm.
It's fun to celebrate the differences of each other. Now, our friendship, I believe that friendship is something that stands the test of time. And that's what our friendship has done over the years. Um,
Yeah.
we've moved, we've grown, we've changed in different
Mhm.
ways. I think things like our favorite colors have changed, but we celebrate those differences and the growth with each other. So that's definitely how
Yeah.
I would define friendship.
That's
Um,
really good.
mhm.
That's really good. Yeah. I would say and agree too, with friendships, like no matter what you're going through, where you've been while you're traveling, while you're moving around, it's just having the connection. I think similarities are awesome. I mean, that's how you know if I mean, what can you do if you're not similar with some things? But the difference is too, it's like your yin to the yang, and they just it's like a puzzle piece. It just works and it fits. So I do think those are, that's a great definition of friendship. I definitely agree with it. And so we're just going to move on to the next question. So, what are the qualities of a friend? So, as I was reviewing this and thinking this through, I just wanted to pick a few things. There are so many qualities, and everything it depends on your friendship of the qualities that you expect. But for me, I think like the top ones that I felt that were really important is empathy, which if anyone knows what that is basically to be able to understand your feelings and show support and provide guidance. So I know for me, like when I'm going through a hard time, it doesn't matter. Like it could be with my job, it could be with another friend, it could be, with my significant other. Um, when you share that information with your friend because you're just needing some guidance or support, a friend should be empathetic, and be able to share the feelings with you to show their support. So I think that's just one of the qualities that a friend should have, at least for me. And you've been that for me. Another one is, I think, a huge key factor is honesty. You should want a friend that is going to be honest with you, 100% transparent. Now they don't have to tell because there's also boundaries, right? So which is fine. It's great to know your friend inside and out, but they also have their own life, which is very important. But if you're able to be honest with them and transparent, and what I mean by that is a friend that's going to tell you when you're doing something right, a friend that's going to tell you when you're doing something wrong, give you corrective criticism. But as the other friend receiving, you have to be able to allow that too and not be offended by it because they just want the best for you. Like I really like that because there are some times with relationships, you only want to say what you want the other friend to hear, so that you feel like you're still included. But sometimes, you just have to let them know the bad parts too. And I think that's very important. And another one is dependable. This is someone that you can rely on like 24/7, 365 days a year, right? Like I don't expect Stephanie to always pick up the phone or answer every text every single moment. But even if it's a little bit of a delay, being dependable and reaching out to your friend and say, hey, I'm checking up on you. Do you need anything? And if they do need something, at some point, circle back around and be there for them in that way that person needs it. I think that's really a great quality. Um, Another one is being positive. I mean, we don't want a bunch of Debbie Downers, right? We
No.
want someone, yeah, we want someone that's going to uplift us, encourage us. Um, I mean, of course, you want to let them know if you're doing something wrong, but you want to be positive. The majority of the time, it's important. You don't want someone that's just beating down at you, or you're becoming to a point where you're both competitive with each other.
Yeah.
To the point, yeah, right. Like you don't want to do that. But you just want to be like a ray of sunshine, just so that if someone else is down, your friend is down, you can uplift them and then they will reciprocate it back to you. And then the last thing that I thought that was pretty neat was being fun and relatable. So this circles back to the last one that you were talking about. You got to have fun, like some kind of similar, you got to have some fun. So whatever it is that you do as a friend, whether it's going out, listening to music or just talking or sharing a favorite show, something that you can relate to that just keeps the friendship, continuing. Differences are important, like we stated before, but having similar interests, I think, provides like a deeper connection. So that's what I thought. Some great qualities would
Yeah,
be.
that's really good. I like what you said about, you uplift your friends, you lift them up. But, if there's something that,
Mhm.
is going on with your friend and you recognize that, I think it is important to say, hey, I heard you. I heard that you addressed this situation this way.
Mhm.
Um, and I don't think that maybe you could have done it differently. And sometimes those things are hard to hear, but you have to understand that the people that love you or your friends, they're not going to want to see you go in a direction that isn't a good
Right.
one. So it's definitely, I mean, corrective criticism, it's hard to hear, but if you listen with an approach to
Mhm.
listen with learning ears, I always tell my kids that, when I talk to you or I correct you, it's not because I wanna be right, it's not because I'm trying to be mean to you, it's because I love you and I want the
Mhm.
best for you. Well, that is tried and true, and it's the same as you get older. You definitely want to surround yourself with people that are gonna do that for you. Um,
Mhm.
and you definitely don't wanna be competitive with anybody either. I mean, there's nothing wrong with friendly competition,
Oh,
but
yes.
you definitely want to celebrate your friends' wins. And
Good. That's good.
when I see you, Stephanie, like you have an amazing career, you have an amazing family. It's just encouraging because for me, God is doing amazing things for you, and what He has for you and what He has for me is different. And I think that that's a beautiful thing in itself. So I like what you said there, you know, and it's something, as you develop relationships with people and as you develop friendships, because in every stage of life, we have an opportunity to get closer to other people. Uh,
Yeah.
and they, have an opportunity to become our friends. So that's something that you definitely want to look out for. Are
Mhm.
those great qualities in friends. So I love
Mhm.
everything that you said. Great.
All right. So the next question is, what are your expectations in a friend, or what should your expectations should be in a friend?
So this kind of goes into like the qualities of being a friend. I
Mhm.
definitely expect my friend to be honest. I expect them to have compassion and understanding. And most of all, I want them to be themselves.
Yeah.
A lot of times, I think when you're in grade school, you are you know, organically, when you're younger, you make friends. It's
Oh, yeah.
just you're just so young when you're really little. I mean, we could see that in our children. They just wanna play, they wanna have fun, and they enjoy each other's company. And then gradually, as you get older, when you're going through high school, now you're kind of in a period of finding out who you are in that
Mhm.
space. And so I remember just kind of maybe liking things that other people liked that I didn't
Mm.
really like. I don't know if you ever went through that phase.
Yeah, just so that you can have something to, you know, have a similarity with or be a part of that group, so you seem like not the popular kid, but that that you agree with them, like you have a connection with them.
Right, and
Mhm.
that's tough, like, when I was in school, I felt like I probably was the only one that did that.
You're not. I was like that. Like you see that group of like girls and you're like, I want to be a part of that group of girls. Like I want to, not that they were popular. Like I find that middle school was probably the hardest. And I think that's probably for most people, you're going through hormones, you're trying to figure yourself out, who you like, what you don't like, even how to dress or not how to dress. So I used to do the same thing. I'd be like, oh, I want to, they seem cool. I want to be a part of that group. So then, yes, you start to change certain
Mhm,
things about yourself to hopefully gain their interest.
mhm.
Doesn't always happen. And I always found myself kind of, I don't want to say maybe I was a nerd. I was a really quiet person. Like I was into my schoolwork all the time. But I found myself like on the outside looking in more so, wishing that I could be part of certain groups of people.
Yeah, I it's okay, so funny you say that because I never thought that of you, like, ever.
Oh,
I
wow. Yeah.
that learned something new today, for
Yeah.
sure. I
Yeah.
never thought that about you. I thought that I was probably the only one that ever experienced that. But, to go along with, an expectation of a friend,
Mhm.
I just want my friend to be unapologetically who they are.
Yeah.
That's all I want because I feel like you don't have to work to be someone who you're not. You don't have to
Yeah, that's
work.
too stressful.
It's too
Yeah.
stressful.
It's too
It's just
much.
kinda like you're always, like, high strung all the time,
Yeah.
and I feel like you're never relaxed. So I
Mhm.
definitely wanna be, around someone that could be themselves, and I
Yeah.
want that space too. You know what I mean? And
Mhm.
I think that that's a refreshing thing. So That's what I think, is very important, and what I expect out of a friendship. I just want them to be themselves. I want them to have compassion. I mean, there's
Mhm.
sometimes that, I may be really, really happy, but something may happen and I'm not, at my best. But, you know, at my best, I want to be loved. At my worst, I want to be loved no matter what.
Mhm.
So those are some of the qualities that I look for in a friend, and I think those are good qualities for you guys to look for too.
Yeah,
No matter what stage you're in, those are really, really important
definitely.
qualities.
Definitely. That's really good. Let's go on to the next one. So, this one is what are the friendships that endure? And I was really thinking hard about this because, um, like most people, you want friendships that they're going to last, okay? Because friends is important. God always says about not being alone. And it's important. I mean, that's the one thing that he brought us here is to have love. And how do you have love without having some kind of friendship or connection with someone other than yourself? Like, love yourself, but that's the whole point, is to connect. So there are different types of friendships. There are friendships that are there for a season, and there are friendships that are there for the long haul. And what I would say is the friendships that are there for a season are not necessarily not important. I believe they're important. There's a reason why, for that moment in time, why they're there. So it can be, for a season, it can be something simple as, if you're in college, okay, you got a college student and they're working on a paper in a classroom. There's a student that needs assistance, or maybe you're in a group project and you start to build this kind of bond and you do really well together, you're making great grades, and then once that term is over, it's kind of like, okay, that person was just there only for that season.
Mhm.
It can be,
That is
yeah, and I find this too with, like, even relationships. I find that I'll have friends come in and out because either they're going through a situation and they kind of are similar with me in a sense, maybe something that I have went through before, or even for me, like, I'm sure I've been friends with someone for a season because I only needed them for that time, and that's really great. And then you have friends that are there for the long haul. These are the friends that I feel like I have roots with them. For instance, with you, Stephanie, like, you're there for the long haul. We're gonna know each other. I already know that. God placed you in my life for a reason, and you are still here. So I know that we are gonna. You're my ride and die sister. Seriously, girl, right? Um, but those are the friendships that you've known for a very long time, or maybe you just met, but you just know, like,
Mhm.
you
You have
just
that
know it's
feeling.
going yeah, you just know it's going to last. And those are really, really good ones because those are the relationships that you tend to have those qualities that you're wanting. And it's like confirmation that it's going to be there. And it's important. And you can have many of those. I mean, I know for me and Stephanie separately, we have also our other friends that are also like long haul friends. But then, with us, we're just a little bit, in a sense of, because we've known each other for so long, it's like we've marinated our relationship so long, right? Uh,
Yeah.
that we just know that we're going to be there. You know, pretty much forever. Like, we're just, there's no way that nothing is going to tear us apart. But the relationships that encompass everything, you guys, that we discussed today, those are going to be the friendships that endure. Now, there's going to be different dynamics to every friendship. I will say, as I've been in different friendships, when people come and go, it's not always necessarily a disagreement. So if someone comes into your life and they leave, it's okay. It's really okay, because then God's going to open up new doors and invite someone else for that time and for you. But what I will say, out of all of this, being a friend with you, it takes work, guys. It's not something, right? It's not something that you can just reach out once in a blue moon. It's like any other relationship that you have. It's like a job. I mean, I wouldn't say we're annoying to each other, but we reach out to each other pretty much every day, even if it's just good morning and that's it for the day. Like, I think that's important. It takes work, guys. You can't just, if you want a long haul relationship, one that's going to endure and last, you got to find time for each other, visit
Mhm.
each other, a phone call, include your kids and your family. Like, it becomes a family. Like, that, like, you're
Oh,
my
it's
sister.
sure.
Maybe not biologically, but that's the importance of a friendship to have something that lasts for a long time. What do you
Yeah.
think?
No, I mean, I completely agree with you there. I mean, Z and I, we've been friends for 25 years.
Mhm.
And, we have developed such a relationship with each other. Our
Mhm.
foundation is solid.
Yes.
It's nothing and when you compare um, a foundation, the foundation of a home has to be solid. Because if it isn't, then over time, the home isn't going to stand. Same
Mhm.
thing with any type of relationship. With Z and I, we've been friends for 25 years. We have gone through many things together. And I mean, there was a point in time we met in middle school. She went away, moved in high school. And in that time, guys, I'm 37. So in that time, we didn't have cell phones. I mean, there were cell phones, but kids our age didn't have cell
Oh,
phones.
yeah, no.
We didn't have social media. Have, we would write each other letters,
I can
and she
remember that.
lived on another side of the country. She lived
Mhm.
on the West Coast, I lived on the East Coast. Um, so it took time, but those little things that we did, writing each other letters, calling each other, I think even back then, I think if we called each other, it was long distance. Do you remember?
I'm trying. It had to be like, you guys. I don't know, for all the viewers that are watching. I mean, if you're our generation, that's awesome. I'm 37 too, but we still had like the corded phones. Like, you
Mhm.
literally had to pay for long distance, and if you didn't, and you had a cell phone, which my dad actually worked for Nextel, which is now
Oh,
currently Sprint. I think if Sprint's even here, I don't even know. I'm an Apple fan, y'all. But yes.
Sprint
So
sells Apple.
you said who?
I said Sprint does sell Apple.
Oh, they do? Oh,
Yeah.
wow. See, I don't even know everything, but I don't know if anyone remembers Nextel. If you don't, it's probably because it's literally like a dinosaur, like that. So we had to prepay like certain minutes, like to be able to make calls.
I remember
And
that.
yeah, and I remember when, yeah, and it had to be like ninth grade because I moved like right before, or maybe it was right at, no, it was sophomore year in high school. In December we moved, and that was so heartbreaking for me. Yeah, we moved all the way to Washington State on the other end, so we had like a 3 hour difference at one point. And I
Mhm.
remember we were only speaking like maybe once a month. Like, our parents literally had to schedule it
Mhm.
because now we had cell phones, but again, we only had a certain amount of minutes, so we couldn't even like talk. But we wrote letters. Like, that's important, guys. Like, you have to work really hard nowadays. Everyone who's younger has the ability to just hop on a FaceTime call or a
Yeah.
quick text. And a lot of those things are like free services now. Like, back when we did, they used to charge for each text message. Like, that's what,
Right. Oh my gosh, I forgot
yeah.
about that.
Oh man. So you gotta
Yeah.
understand, like, we had to work like we had to go old school, and which I think is still awesome if you can write letters. I just, something about that I think is so genuine to
It's a
take the
it's a
time to,
lost art for sure.
yeah. Mhm. But we used to write letters, and of course, by the time you get the letter, a whole week has gone by, something else has come up. But I mean, you've really been there for me. Yeah, what I come from a military background, everyone. My dad served in the Air Force for 20 years, and then my stepmom, she served both Air Force but retired Army. So we were always moving every couple of years. And like I said, you have those friends that are there for a season, and then the ones that are tried and true are the ones that stick it through, seriously. And Stephanie, you have literally been with me when I was over there, when even when I was nearby, but I was going through my own family growth and all of that. Same with you, but we still found time, and look where we are now. We are
Yeah,
still
for sure.
riding it out. Yeah. So
The yeah, the foundation of a friendship, I mean, we spent time building that, um,
yes.
and we definitely we didn't talk every day. but we
Yeah.
still had that love for each other, and we were able to come together. I even remember, Stephanie, when you came back to Virginia and you were in college, I
Oh,
remember that I still like, I was so excited that you were coming back home, and I still didn't see you very much.
I
Like, I
know.
saw you at church every now and again, and, still our friendship still was super strong. It's something that we just
Mhm.
never let go of, and it's, just been an amazing journey, an amazing ride. So,
Yes. And
I hope.
I'm so excited for like even with this and what we're doing and sharing, what whomever is watching, hopefully this is encouragement for you all. But we are so excited here to be on this journey because even for us, like when we look back at this, like I don't know how long we're gonna be doing this, guys. We just want to be here for you. We want to be here for each other. But flash forward, if God gives us another 40, 50 years, I'm just so excited to see in that amount of time how much even closer that we've become.
Mhm.
So I'm just so blessed and thankful that God has really allowed us to have this relationship with each other and share the ups and downs, the experiences, and just be there for one another. And to the point now where we're able to share that with those who may be in the same boat with us or those that want that same thing that there you can find that. But again, it takes a lot of work to do that. But it's so worth it. It is so
It
worth it.
It's so worth it. I often think about, different examples of friendships and, just the beauty and the story of friendship, and
Yeah.
that's definitely what we have. And it's so beautiful so that we have children that endear each other. Our 2
Mhm.
little girls, they're super close. They love playing with each other. They ask for each other all the time. So
Yes.
just seeing that growth, that it doesn't stop at one generation, but it continues on. And there's that
Mhm.
connection. And I even see that through, I know my husband's family, they met friends in the military, and they've been out of the military, I think 20 years now, and they're
Mhm.
still friends, and their children are friends. So it's definitely something that has longevity in that
Mhm.
our children endear each other and love each other and enjoy each other's company. So that's a beautiful thing too. I love to see our kids um,
Yeah.
interact. I love to see, of course, my son when he's with your sons, and they're just, being goofy. It kind of
Mhm.
reminds me of our time when
Yeah.
we were that age.
Oh my goodness. Do you remember? And I'm so excited because we have this what we want to share with you guys for the next episode. But Stephanie and I used to just do everything. We used to do like karaoke
Mhm.
when we had sleepovers. I mean, it's at the point where I was teaching her like dance moves. If y'all know Aaliyah, like I was such a Aaliyah fan.
I was
Destiny Child
too.
fan. Yeah. So I just remember us doing that. And just being goofy, like even in church, like when I say we used to walk arm in arm back in middle school, like
They
to and from the sanctuary, and it's crazy because people used to literally think we were sisters, maybe because our names are the same or we look identical, but we fed off each other. Like you could not break us apart. And I mean, at the point where it's like at the end of the church service or anytime we were together, we're like, I don't want to go back home. Like I just want to, I don't know, hang out with my sister. I just want to play. I just want to, you know,
Let's
I don't want
play.
to end. And it's still like that today. Like every time we get together, I'm not even kidding. Like I literally will shed a tear. Even my own daughter sheds a tear when she sees your daughter, like when you guys are leaving. And I know we're going to see you in a few weeks, but it's just like, I just want to stay,
I know,
and even,
so close, but
my
so far.
middle schooler, yeah, he just always asked about yours, and even the other day, he was like, "When are we gonna see them again?" And we were just talking about this the other day of, getting together. So, yeah, it's important. It continues on to the next generation and what you're setting, and so they find those friendships, which are super important. Sometimes I feel like sometimes friendships are even sometimes for some people even closer than your own siblings that you may even have. Maybe not. Maybe your sibling is like your best friend. I know mine. I still consider my sister like a really, really close friend. I share a lot of things with her. So I think it's important to make sure that you find those qualities, um, those expectations that you have for your friend, and make sure that it's something that you want to last, because those are the ones that are going to endure. So, but we just so thankful, you guys, that we are here to share this with you. We just want to let you know to watch our new episodes. We have them every other week right now on Tuesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So stay tuned. The next one will be available on June the 4th. So stay tuned for that one. And I'm going to let Stephanie talk and she'll let you know exactly where to find us.
Yes. So, if your first time, if it's your first time here, sorry, I just learned how to talk today. If this is your first time here, you can like, share, and please subscribe to our channels at ZWSB.24 on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. We will post some clips on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook, and you can watch our full episode on YouTube. So come sit with us, have a cup of coffee, a cup of
Mm-hmm.
tea, a cup of whatever
Yes.
you like, and enjoy the episode. So we're so grateful for each and every one of you. If you have any questions of us, please ask, comment, subscribe again, hit that notification bell.
Right.
We'll be notified
Yes.
if and when we have another episode. So we love you guys, and we hope to see you soon.
All right. See you later. Bye, sis.
Bye, sis.